A lab that doesn't eat. What the heck? All right, so we're here this morning. We're loading up the FJ here, getting everything ready to go. I was hoping Fred would eat while I was doing all this, but this is the first morning he hadn't eaten. So kind of weird, but I'm sure he'll get hungry after our hike later, so he'll eat later. So today I think we're gonna go to the Petrified Forest down in Arizona. So it's about 3 hours away. And then we gotta go disperse camp somewhere south of there. So I think that's gonna be our plan today. If it changes, I'll let you know. So me and Fred, we're gonna go to Visty Badlands first before we go to the Petrified Forest. Just saw it on the way. I don't know what it is, never heard of it. Check it out, see if it's cool. I'm here looking at the sign. It looks like they found a big old dinosaur fossil out here in 1997 in the summer. So you can see where we're at in New Mexico, kind of the middle of nowhere, to be honest. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to hike about 4 miles to get to the kind of the cool stuff. I don't know if we're gonna make it out there. He's a little tired from that hike the other day. Still, it is 70 degrees out today, and there is no shade anywhere out here. So we do have 2 liters of water with us. We got a couple Cliff Bars this time, but we're gonna walk out here just see if we can find anything cool. I mean, this whole landscape is pretty cool. Like, check this out. So me and Fred found like the only shade, but this is cool. So like you can see 2 different, well, a few different layers on this rock. So you have one right here, and you have that one right there. You have another one. And then you get into this layer. I'll fire it. And then farther up, you get into that middle layer, and this middle layer is all black, and it's almost kind of charcoaly. Like it's not, but it is sort of. So I wonder if, I'm curious about that. Like what time frame was that, and like what happened during that time period for that layer to occur. And then it gets harder at the top. Pretty cool, but it's really crumbly. Like this stuff is just super fragile. You can see that whole thing would just go. So, pretty cool. Let's take a break. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, he did eat today. So when I put him in the car, I put the bowl in front of him, and he just ate. So don't have to worry about that. He's got food energy at least. Still don't see the parking lot. I think it's around that bend. Red's coming. We're back at the FJ. It took Fred no time to find shade. Man, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out here. There are no houses, no people, no cars, just me. I have one car way behind me. But yeah, this is kind of wild. I have a half a tank of gas, so I'm fine on gas. But man, if I was low, I'd be worried. We're here. Check this out. Pretty gorgeous. So just a little ways from the temporary visitor center. It's the Painted Desert Inn, but just a little ways. You have this trail. See the Painted Desert.
From California.
I doubt that. No.
See the telephone poles. So what was going on right there was this is the old Route 66, so where all these telephone poles are going all the way down. That's the original Route 66 before they kind of moved it over to the I-40. So pretty cool. So the next thing we're gonna go see is Newspaper Rock. You've probably heard about this. I've heard about it before. I didn't know it was here, but it's this big rock with nothing but petroglyphs on it. So that should be really cool to see. All right, I'll have to show you all those pictures. We couldn't go down there and see them. We had to look at them from the top. But yeah, pretty cool. I brought my binoculars, so I could see them really well with my binoculars. Without, they had those kind of like binoculars to see like at places, you know, that are. So some people were looking through those, but the people that I let borrow my binoculars were like, whoa, that's way better. So glad I brought them. All right. Next, Petrified Wood. Let's go. We got Fred out the car. Check this out. It's an old petrified log. Wow, that is super cool. Look at that, so here it is. Check that out. It goes all the way across. Pretty cool. Oh, sorry, Fred. Stepped on his foot. Okay, you ready? He's got a little limp to his step. This guy's got his top. He's looking at this big old piece over here. Got some logs, some stumps, all kinds of stuff. 200 million year old tree. One thing I find funny about national parks is that, like, you're always hanging out with the same people because you're going down the road, you're pulling off, looking at the thing for 2 minutes, getting back in your car, looking at the thing for 2 minutes. So you're always just hanging out with the same people like that pretty much the entire day. It's kind of funny to me. All right, so I can see the forest down there. There's just a bunch of petrified wood down there. That was cool. That was really cool. You couldn't really walk amongst it. That's fine. If you could, probably people would steal it all the time. But there was so much petrified wood back there, like thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces. Pretty wild. Okay, we're at Crystal Forest now. This is cooler than the other one. We can actually go out there and look, touch, whatever. Look. Ah! Let's get it. $20 million years ago, we were right over there. This is a great little board here. I don't know if you can read it, but basically what it's saying is that they were created 218 million years ago. The trees were grown, but why they cut like this? It's because of the quartz. The quartz cracks and it goes the shortest way perpendicular. So that's why it looks like they look like they're all cut in half or sawed off or things like that, but it's because of the quartz inside of them. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. The yellow and red and orange and purple, that's iron. Black and gray is manganese oxides, and then the white's the pure quartz, and that's what's causing them to break and look like they were cut in half. They weren't. Check it out. I mean, it's coming out of the ground. You know, those big old pieces over here. So what got me fascinated into petrified wood was my trip to in Florissant, Colorado. They have these petrified wood redwoods that are massive. So these are pretty big too. Look at that. But yeah, they got these petrified redwoods out there and they're amazing. So that kind of got me hooked on petrified wood. I just think it's so cool. I mean, it's 215 million years old, isn't it? It's not wood anymore. I mean, it got replaced by rocks and things like that, but it still looks like wood. Look at that one. Massive pieces. There's a big old piece over there. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Wow, this is a long trail. I see some people way over there. And it's a paved trail, so you can see the parking lot. FJ. I love Fred and the FJ. Don't worry, the window's open in the back. Every time I get back in, he's fine. He's not even panting. So he's just sleeping. He's a tired dog. Check all this out. This is super cool. Super, super cool. All right, this looks like a big loop trail. So we're just gonna walk this whole loop. I love this. This is so cool. Can you imagine being here 200 million years ago and this is all forest? It probably wouldn't last long. I'd probably get eaten by something pretty quickly. Look at that. And it's not caught. Even though it really looks like it is. That's the quartz breaking across the easiest way to break. Look at that log. This one, who knows? It might go all the way underneath. This is cool. This is what I was hoping for. I was a little disappointed when we were at the overlook on the other one. And I was thinking like, oh no, we're not going to be able to like walk around and like look at the wood and stuff. But this one's way better. I mean, look at it. It's this whole valley. There's nothing but petrified wood on the ground. Yeah, so the place in Colorado, I think it's called the Florissant Fossil Beds, something like that. So if you ever get a chance, if you're ever in Florissant, Colorado, go check it out. It is super cool. I mean, we're talking trees that are like 20 feet wide. So it's really wild. 20 feet wide? Yeah, 10 feet wide maybe. Look at that. We're gonna go over there and see that big old long piece. They're just everywhere. So apparently this is the biggest collection of petrified wood, probably in the world, but definitely in America. Check that out. Look at this tree. Look at this massive tree. Check that out. All the way down there. That feels like wood. It's not, of course, but it feels like wood. That's wild. Let me feel this one. That feels more rock, more like rock, but yeah. It's like a piece is missing. This is a big tree, very tall. Love it. So listen to this. Doesn't sound like a rock. Alrighty, we're at the South Visitor Center. There it is. They said there's like giant pieces up there, and I think I see one up there. You can see those people standing next to it, as tall as it. So we're gonna walk around, check this out, and then we'll be headed over to Flagstaff. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to come out to the Petrified Forest National Park, do it. Especially if you like petrified wood, it'll be your jam. Those are some big pieces right there. These out. And just to give you an idea how big they are. That one's not too big, but this one right here is big. So. Check that out. Check this out. I'm gonna stand right here. Pretty big. About 6, 7, 8 feet at the very bottom. So I learned this in the Florissant fossil beds, but what's really wild about all this wood that's out here, and this is just what's on top. This is just what's kind of, you know, wind erosion and all that kind of stuff that's shown these pieces. There's probably thousands more that are buried underneath. Probably full intact trees that haven't broken and things like that too. They said that out there in the Florissant fossil beds, if I'm even saying that correctly, that they were leaving a lot of them buried because back in the 1800s people came out there and were taking them. That's why I'm kind of shocked that all this wood is still here, because in Florissant, or they had a lot of theft, and so there's not a ton of wood, and a lot of the stumps out there they just left buried so that people wouldn't come get them. So it's kind of cool that that there's so much of this wood out here. Yeah. So yeah, I think people did a really good job here, not just stealing it all. I mean, this used to be a railroad stop. People would stop here, but I guess they were good about not taking all of it. This gives you a good look of where we were at. So like there's the parking lot, there's the little trails going around and up through. We were just up there at that lookout. Now we're gonna walk around down here and back to the car. So super easy hike if you're out here at the south end of the visitor center. Really easy hike. It's all paved. There are some stairs, but yeah, highly recommend coming out here and checking this out. Look at that one. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these logs are probably buried. Like what we see on the top is just a little bit of what all's out here. So you can see that one, that was a whole log, and just recently probably was exposed over the last few hundred years. So here at the Blue Mesa, you can see they're kind of blue. So this goes around. We'll probably take one more video and then be done. My battery's gonna go dead soon. Pretty cool. Looks like there's a trail down there that you can walk. There's some people walking down there. I did not feel like doing that. Figure I could get a good enough view up here. Oh, piece of petrified wood right there. It's everywhere out here. You can see it over there too. Some pieces. Good morning, everybody. We are back at Petrified National Forest. We didn't actually go to Flagstaff last night. We realized that there's a Elks Lodge in Holbrook, which is just like right down the road. So we stayed there last night, had a good time. Woke up early and are out here at Petrified National Forest again. We didn't get to go to the Long Logs or the Agate House yesterday. So this is a trail that not many people do. So the parking lot's way over there. So I didn't see anybody coming over here doing it. But we're gonna go check out the Agate House. Apparently this is a structure that was built out of petrified wood. So that should be kind of neat to see. I think it's a Pueblo. But look at that one. That one's big. Wow. So we can see the Agate House up there, if that's how you say it. That's doing okay. I don't know that we'll do much more than this today. But he gets a little limp every once in a while, and he's not walking the fastest. So I'm starting to worry about him a little bit. But we'll get through this little hike, and he'll get to rest for a couple days, I think. I think I'm just gonna kind of lay low in Flagstaff. We're gonna be staying at the Benito campground, next to some lava flows or something like that. So that will be neat. You can see we got a little limp going on, but we're almost here, and then we can take a little break. And like I said, we're the only ones here, so nobody is on this trail. And it's a very cool trail. I mean, it's just littered with petrified wood everywhere you look. I mean, all these little shards down here is all petrified wood. So it's so tempting to just take a tiny little piece, but don't do it. Don't do it. You could land yourself in big trouble, and it's just not right to do. So this is it. That's kind of cool. Let's check it out, Fred. that. Let's do this. Looks like they used to come in through the ceiling. Very neat. Oh, Fred. It's like, what? There's birds in there or something. You know something's in there. That's the backside of it. It's really pretty. I mean, I didn't think it would be that pretty. It is kind of cool. Pretty neat little spot. If you ever come out here, there's usually not a lot of people looking for it. Looking for it. That's funny. He's like, I want to know what's in there. Pretty neat. You can just see the landscape around. They're building a little plateau over here. We're kind of at the top. Fred's finding the only shade over here. Keep over there, I guess. The visitor center over there. And again, nobody is on this trail. We'll let Fred rest a little bit. We've only got a mile. He may not even want. Is he gonna lay down? You got a spot? Yep. There you go. So I'll let him rest a little bit, a couple minutes here, and then we'll let the road hit the trail. So I was curious what the top of this looks like. So let's take a look. Check this lizard out. I just saw him. It's huge. See him? He's green. Ah! I thought he was gonna run up me. That was crazy. Check this one out. Whoa! I didn't even notice that one. That was massive. Look how big that tree is. This one's cool. All the way. Bird poop. Hold on. So me and Fred just got back to the FJ. I'm gonna feed him. I'm gonna eat too. I'm gonna get some cereal. And then I think I'm gonna go up to the museum in Holbrook, and then head over to Flagstaff. We can't get to Flagstaff until 2 o'clock because our reservation, our campsite's not available until 2 o'clock. So could get there and ride around, I guess. But so our hike was about 2.31 miles. Fred did great.